Good morning, everybody. So wonderful to hear Andy Anderson playing a few little notes this morning for us to get us started. What a beautiful day it is here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living, right here in the sanctuary, as well as wherever you are online. We just want to welcome you. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and a special welcome if this happens to be your first time with us today. A special welcome we will give you later on in the service, but in the meantime, just sit back and enjoy this wonderful service. And all the way from Oregon, we have Andy Anderson this morning. We welcome him, and he'll open us up with a little music this morning.
So you can sing along with me if you want to. And it goes on. Joy, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. Joy, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. For it's all there is. Here we go. Joy, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. I let joy, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. And I let joy, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. I let joy, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. Grace, I let grace, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. I let grace, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. Love, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. I let love, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. It's all there is. Let's go back to love. I let love, I let it shine through me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. I let love, I let it live in me for the whole world to see. It's all there is. It's all there is.
Thank you, Andy. So wonderful to have you here. I remind you, if you just remembered, I didn't do this. So if you have your cell phone on, make sure you've turned off the sound, and so it doesn't interrupt things. But just a blessing to everybody here this morning. A special welcome to everybody today. We'd like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen with me and read, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A glorious affirmation for us today, and really every day I think about this vision and enact it in my life, and I hope you do the same. Before we begin the sacred part of our service, I want to give you a few announcements. First and foremost, if you haven't, if you didn't see changes in the courtyard this morning, you probably need some more coffee. There's a lot of changes in the courtyard right now because we have always had the vision when we were visioning for the courtyard to create this area right out here to feel like the area back here, to be more of a green space, a sanctuary feel to it. We have a name for our courtyard called the Cabernet Courtyard. And so we want to create it for events and our own events and to create some greenery. So Lori Hart has created a design that finally seemed to gel. And it's hard to see right here, but there's plans out on the table if you want to look at them, that we're going to be planting trees in this courtyard out here. And bring some new shrubbery in and just open it up and create some natural shade in those areas. So we're excited about that. These are the kind of trees they are, the Chiptala. Pink Dawn. Okay, with emphasis on the pink dawn, right? So we're excited about it. If you have any questions about it, I'll be around after the service. Lori will be around after the service. But it's all going to be done. The phase one's going to be done before, and that's my second part of our announcement, on September 18th, our 2021 Sip and Savor. We're so excited about that. It's the fundraiser that's include wine, food, music, and art. We're going to have a special presentation because we're celebrating diversity of certain individuals in the Valley that have contributed to diversity in Napa Valley, including former Mayor Jill Teckel, principal of Valley Oak High School, which is an alternative high school here in Napa, Maria Cisneros, J.T. Thompson, who originated the Black History Month celebration here in Napa Valley, Charlie Toledo, who is executive of the Susquehanna Intertribal Council, and also Brad Wagon-Connect, County Board of Supervisor and advocate for the homeless and for mental health and so many things that we're so happy about. So we're going to honor them, and then we're going to have an auction and wine tasting and food sampling and all sorts of fun. So please buy your tickets. Now, I want to let you know this is the last week for early bird pricing. We not only have an early bird discount, but a 2-for-1 discount. And if you are not internet savvy, or if you just want to handle it today, we're going to have a kiosk outside where you can just swipe your card or pay cash to get your tickets that way. We also still need volunteers to help staff the event. Because this is a fundraiser, we ask the volunteers also buy tickets, just because we want to increase where our money goes and increase the value of that. We want to continue programs and services and events, and are working with nonprofits here in the Valley that create more diversity here. That's our main mission, is to promote, advocate, increase the diversity both in this center and in the Valley as a whole, to make this a welcome place. And as part of that, I just want to, so tickets are available now, but remember this week, end of the month is the last time for those early bird discounts. And then to tie into that about our fundraising, we had a event in early June, called the Unbottled Music Benefit. And we had online music, and we're able to have donations based on that we sold tickets to. And with that money, we gave to several nonprofits here in the Valley. And we got 2 thank you notes for our contributions. We've had emails too, but I just, the letters that get are ones that kind of stand out to mind, from Porta Abiertas for our donation to them, and from Mentas Mental Health Services. And this morning we have Liz Marks here. If you'll come on up, Liz, from Mentas, who is here to, she's already received the money, but just to let us know the services that Mentas does. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
And if you don't know much about it, then I'd like her to describe a little more about it. So here's Liz.
Thank you for inviting me here, Jay.
Could you move a little closer to the microphone?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Better? Okay. I know you have people
You're welcome.
online too. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And thank you so much for your congregation to donate to Mentas, Napa Center for Mental Health Services. I don't know if you know, but we are Napa's oldest nonprofit providing services in the Napa Valley. We were founded in 1948. And we believe that each of us has the capacity to improve our mental health, but not all of us have the tools or resources to do so. Every day, our staff and clinicians educate, support, and inspire people to take charge of their mental well-being, with programs ranging from prevention to treatment. We're here to make sure our mental well-being flourishes. And when we share Mentas's expertise on how to cope with life's ups and downs, we empower our neighbors to live the lives they want to live. So have any of you heard of Mentas before? A lot of you. Okay. We've been around a very long time, and I'm very, very proud of the work we do. We provide prevention treatment, as I mentioned, such as suicide prevention training, resilience for youth. We do a lot of work in the schools. Some of you probably know Jenny Olson, and she's the director of our prevention services. And also wellness cafes for young people, all the way to treatment, where we actually have people who need professional bilingual therapy, and they come in for multiple sessions. We teach them coping skills and how to manage the struggles that they have in their lives. And we also have housing. That's a very little known fact, but we have housing services where we have many individuals who were chronically homeless and needed a stable place to live, where we provide mental health case management for those individuals. And we have a very strong track record of people staying stably housed in those programs. You guys donated us $500, and I just want to tell you, with that $500, 50 young people can take suicide prevention training. It's a very, very important training. If you're ever interested in having us come and provide those services, provide that class for your congregation, we can do that. I'm not sure if it's an hour to 2 hours. But last year we had a young person go through the training, and the very next week, a good friend of hers was indeed showing signs of thinking about suicide, and she was able to help her family get her help to the right place and recognize that she needed help. And a lot of times, the parents don't know, so it was really a very heartwarming story.
Yeah. And you provide your services on a sliding scale, don't you?
We do. It's very important because there are many people. We literally are the only place you can go for mental health treatment if you don't have any insurance at all, if you're undocumented. So you can go on a sliding scale. People pay as little as $1 or $5 for services per session.
Uh-huh.
And during the pandemic, though, we waived all that because it was really hard for our neighbors to be able to pay, even $5.
Yeah. Well, I think all of us have had moments when we needed mental health services of one kind or another. So we really appreciate what you've done here in Napa Valley.
Thank you. Yeah. And we have a new office that we just opened on 1700 Soskell Street.
Oh.
And we're having an open house on September 15th at 4:30. And you're all welcome to come. And we're serving root beer floats. So
can't go wrong there. I think that's one of the keys to mental health, isn't it? Is root beer floats?
Sugar. It's called sugar. Yeah. Yeah, sugar. Yeah. Yeah. So you definitely, you're totally invited to come to our open house, and you're to learn more in depth about all our services that we provide for our community.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I love the partnerships we've had, that we're doing work here, and we're also partnering with the nonprofits, and we appreciate all the efforts they're doing in our community as well. I want to also let you know that September, August is over, right? It's almost over. And we're starting a new theme next month called Reaching Higher. And the fun of it, we usually have movie month in October, but I wanted to do some other things in October that related more to our 50th anniversary. We're 50 years old this year. And as a center. And so the movie we're doing is called Soul. I don't know if you've seen this on Disney. Really good movie, really fun. It's got some great messages in it. My favorite one is they talk about the great before and the great after, and life happens between those two, and how to live our fullest life between the great before and the great after, and just letting the soul lead our way. So we're excited about that, and we're beginning to talk about the 50th anniversary, And I think that'll be great. Also in September, I'll let you know that September 11th, we've got the final plan for this. I know it's been kind of vague, but our Interfaith Peace Commemoration that's on September 11th at 6 p.m. And we did get the permit to be at the 9/11 Memorial over on Main Street. What's interesting about that day, it's a 20th anniversary of September 11th, which is a reason to commemorate, to honor those who lost their lives or whose lives have been affected by that. And there's one commemoration happening at 11 a.m. by the city, which Brad, Wagon Connect, and Bernie Navarros are leading up that. So that I'm going to go to that. And then at 6 p.m. is the interfaith one that is more faith-based, and we're going to have representatives from the Muslim, the Jewish, the Methodist, the Presbyterian community, from the homeless community, so Seventh-day Adventist, so a lot of variety there, and coming together, the Buddhist community, so coming together as one in the name of peace and oneness. So looking forward to both of those events that we have. And September 21st, we're starting practitioner class. It's time to get signed up for that if you're interested in that. And then we're going to switch another month into October. We're going to have some fun things happening in October. The Naranya and Janet concert that's coming up on October 3rd, right after the service. And then October 23rd, this is save the date. I know this seems far away, but this is a big date. This is our annual gratitude dinner, and it's also a celebration of our 50th anniversary. Karen Drucker is going to be our musician.
Yes.
And we have a special guest coming from Southern California. I'm going to let you guess who that might be. But her picture might be somewhere on one of the walls in this sanctuary. That'll be my hint. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to all the events that are happening. And then we still have our ongoing meditation on Wednesday, both in English and Spanish. Spanish speaking services on the second and fourth Sundays. We have a Dharma recovery group on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. And all of these things, you can find out more information on our website. So enough of this. Let's get to a little music and begin the sacred time of our service.
Spirit, lead me and guide me. 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 Every day I see and I do living my life to the fullest every day. There's nothing sweeter than a smile on my face. I just surrender to that power and love every moment, every day. Spirit, lead me and guide me. Spirit, just keeps on giving me. Spirit, just let it lead me and guide me. Spirit, just keeps on giving me. It's up to me to be like brighter day, because I am that I am. It's supposed to be with yes in every way. So I surrender to that power and love every moment, every day. Ooh, it's only love. So it's all there is, all there'll ever be. It's up to me to know and receive, and know there's only one love, light, peace, and harmony. Spirit will lead you and guide you. Spirit will just keep on giving you. Spirit, just let it lead you and guide you. Spirit will lead you and guide you. When you find yourself going through the dark night of the soul, just release and let go, and know that it's so, and surrender to that power and love every moment, every day. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's only love. See, it's all there is, all there'll ever be. It's up to you to know and believe, and know there's only one love, light, peace, and harmony. Oh, it's Holy Spirit living in me. Spirit, lead me and guide me. Spirit, lead me and guide me. Spirit, just let it lead me and guide me. Spirit, lead me and guide me. It's only love. All there is, all there'll ever be. It's up to you. Oh, it's only Spirit living in me.
That Spirit lead us and guide us today and every day, and open our hearts to the love that is all around. Opening our hearts, knowing that love is everywhere present. And so with that opening, I know that this service today inspires each and every one of us in our own special, unique ways to be the best that we can be. And all we have to do is open and let Spirit guide us. So let's take a few moments to do just that in silence. And so it is.
So it is.
So I have a quote for you today from Reverend Jane Beach, and I need to get it, so I'll get it right. And she says, no matter how kind I am, I'm going to have pain. I'm likely to be affected by environmental factors over which I have little or no control. I can't always escape being hurt by other people or circumstances, but I get to choose whether or not I stay wounded. I may not get to choose what happens to me, but I do get to choose how I respond to my experience. And that's why I have a spiritual toolbox, and each of you have one too. You just have to recognize it. And it's as big as you need it to be, and it can hold everything that you need. In my spiritual toolbox, I have 7 main tools, and they are a mirror, my will, my creativity or my desire, my love, my soul, my intention, and my meditation. Now, I have the mirror because when I hold it up to myself, I recognize that I am the key to unlock whatever it is that makes me work in this world. I also have my will, which is my desire, what I really want, which is the pure force of manifesting all forms. I have my creativity, and that is knowing what I want to birth, to bring forward into form. I have my love, which is the quality that binds everything together. And my soul is that which holds the balance of all the energies of life. My intent guides me towards my desire, and my meditation is the vehicle to align my soul with the receptive power of the universe to purposely infuse my environment by consciously choosing to be love in action in all times. And so it is.
Every day I'm so grateful, thankful. Oh, it's a new day on my horizon. All that I am, all I can be. Oh, it's just a gratitude shining through me. Nature's gives to me a perfect place to be. I keep on loving myself so I can see there's only beauty in you, beauty in me. Oh, let's all stand up together and let the whole world see. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. My life is so good, precious and good. That's it. With every breath I take, with every step I take, it takes me higher on my path of awakening. See through the eyes of love, there's only one of us. So let's be grateful for all that's been given us. No need to live in fear. All that life is so come on, let's love and let the love come shining in. Smiling faces, warm embraces. Oh, let's all stand up and let the whole world know I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Every day so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Every moment I'm grateful. I'm so thankful. My life is so good, yeah, precious and good. Oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. so grateful every moment. Yes, I am.
Wow, Andy, I'm so glad you're with us today. So beautiful, so beautiful. The glorious day. Great to have you here, and great to have everybody here. I know this is a time which we're all figuring out where we go and how we show up with mask or no mask, and yet it's a delightful to be in community. We're continuing to, if you could turn on the TV, I think, is it not on? We're continuing to last day of the theme, walking in the wilderness. And today in particular, as Diana introduced, we're talking about a spiritual toolbox. What's interesting about toolboxes is every trade, whether you're hiking or whether you're a carpenter, a handy person, a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, or any professional has their own toolboxes. Some it's a physical thing, like you think of the doctor that would go from house to house in the old days with their medical bag. But most of the toolboxes we have now are things we know to do. And the same is true for our spiritual toolbox, that these are things that we turn to, that we have in our house or in our mind, or techniques we have, meditation, prayer, affirmation, gratitude journals, just simply breathing at times, remembering inspirational materials, different things we turn to that can realign us, shift our mood, create things. But also some things that we have are just like the professionals have, that are used to maintain, not necessarily to fix a problem, but ongoing maintenance to prepare us for that which is before us, that which is in front of us, that which continues to either challenge us or bring us abundance that we want to be able to accept, joy. I don't know about you, but there was a time in my life when I thought I was very content and happy, and I was thinking something else was going to happen to change that. I didn't know how to accept that much joy in my life. I needed tools to be able to receive the abundance of love that I thought somewhere in my belief system that I didn't deserve. And that's not true, obviously. That's a lie. Because Spirit in us, Spirit in each of you, is all the love and all the joy. There's an abundance that we receive. So we open up to this. We have these simple tools that we can have for guidance, for illumination, for enlightenment. And just like the handy person or the doctor or accountant, that sometimes they come to a problem they've not seen before. They ponder it. They ask questions. They seek guidance, intuition. Yes, doctors do, and lawyers do, and everybody in every profession seeks an intuition. They might not call it God. They might call it their gut feeling. But everybody has this sense of seeking something greater than they are, for a wisdom to know. And sometimes we have to take a step back to get that recognition. We did that here in the courtyard. It took a long time. Some of you can attest to that, because we just couldn't get the feel of it, the sense of it, of what was the highest and best. And I know these times about there's a phrase that some people use called VUCA, and there's a slide on that. If I could show you that slide here. What VUCA stands for is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And this is this was developed. These ideas were developed around during the Cold War, like right after the Cold War, when things were very unpredictable for government and military and business. But we also know it to be how we show up in the world and this time with unpredictability, unsureness about that. And so we move forward with this, and we have a different sense of life in this way, that it is unpredictable. But I don't buy into that anymore, because too often when somebody says, well, I didn't expect that, I would say, well, these are unpredictable times. I want a new vision, a new way of seeing things. So allowing the acronym VUCA to stand for something different. And the V for me stands for vision. For the courtyard, for the center, we have a vision that we follow, that it may seem like chaos now. Times our life seems like chaos, but we have a vision for what that is. A vision for the beauty and the organic feeling that we want to experience. And that's what guides us. The U for me stands for understanding, insight that we can gain. Even if we've never been here before, we seek this insight, this understanding. The C stands for consciousness. Consciousness that is the higher realm, that all that is. And no matter what, it seems like a very oppositional world, there's a consciousness that holds everything in oneness. And the A stands for awareness. Our mindfulness that we have, that we can be aware that we are sucked into a drama, or we're getting caught into a negativity, or something that doesn't serve us, some practice we have, some habit we have that doesn't serve us. So we use our spiritual toolbox to reestablish new patterns, new ways of doing things that we do. And in this, we create, we are alive in this. We know the truth of who we are and how we open up to this. So we are establishing a new vision, a new understanding, a new consciousness, a new awareness that creates this vision. So what I want to talk about this is this spiritual toolbox, kind of have some fun with it in this way, that there are reminders of us in a daily basis to use these toolboxes. Now, I have a list of old ads, phrases, but I don't know if you've seen the new ads that are out there. They're all about light and love and connectivity. So there's a lot of new ones out now, but I was going to use some phrases, old phrases, that some of it may date your age, but they are reminders for us to tap into our spiritual toolbox. So how about Coca-Cola that says the pause that refreshes, right? Or the ones that said, where's the beef? Or got milk. So where's our consciousness? Where's the love? Where's the joy at? Have a break, have a Kit Kat. I don't think we need a Kit Kat, but have a break, right? Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Spirit is everywhere you want to be, right? Just do it. Just do the spiritual practice. Microsoft had an old ad said, where do you want to go today? So what is your intention today? Where do you want to go today? Apple in the 90s, think different. And another word for MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Well, how about there are some things money can't buy, and leave it at that, right? General Electric, imagination at work. Dove, real beauty. Not surface beauty, but real beauty that is within. And then our insurance companies, we are in good hands, and like a good neighbor, we know that Spirit is always present with us. American Express, don't leave home without it. And finally, Bounty paper towels, the quicker picker-upper, right? Well, the one I want to focus on today is actually, I don't like the ad. It's for, I think it's Dos Equis or some kind of beer, but it's about stay thirsty. And it's a little bit arrogant, a little bit misogynistic, but I like the stay thirsty part. For me, that's an affirmation about staying curious, staying active, staying engaged in life, not being passive, to stay up front and stay curious about life. When something is challenging me, I want to stay thirsty to understand, to have that insight I was talking about, the understanding of someone, to ask more questions, to be present in the situation, to be engaged. And so this thirsty is actually a great acronym that we can use. So the first part of it is to take time. The T of thirsty stands for to take time. So literally, this is to take time, to take a break, not necessarily to have a Kit Kat. I know another one that the ad that I also thought about is sometimes you feel like a nut, right? You remember that one? Well, sometimes I feel like a nut, That's what I need, to take a break and breathe and check in with myself. And even before I feel like a nut, maybe I need to check in and, how am I doing? How's my body, mind, and soul today? How am I expressing myself? Where is spirit in my life? Now, your spiritual toolbox, I invite you to make it personal to you. What works for you? Your toolbox is going to be different than someone else's. The gratitude journal, I never really got into it, but some people love it. And I'm doing some writing now in the morning. I've never done that before. It's a new thing for me, some automatic writing, what's called. You just open up a journal and start writing without an intention, purpose. And it's powerful for me. It's really opening up some things for me. So not only do we want it personal, but it continue to evolve. We can also practice them to make them better. And during this time we have, I both lived with my brother when he was becoming a doctor, when he was studying to become a doctor, and my first wife when she was becoming a nurse. And they would talk about practices they did. Some you don't want to hear about, but I'm sure other doctors could tell you about that. But I remember the hypodermic needle and the orange to practice, because it was kind of like a fleshy thing, so that kind of thing. So we try out different practices to see what works, and we keep the ones in our arsenal that work. So the next one I want to talk about is H, is have heart. So open up to what activates the heart. I think this is important because both curiosity and courage come from the heart, that we align with it. The heart math talks about the heart that we activate, that we become coherent in. And it's important in the science of mind discussion that we talk about, because we talk about change your thinking, change your life. But the truth is, thinking by itself doesn't create shifts. It might create a temporary peace, but it doesn't make lasting change. We've got to have the heart and the consciousness and the soul. Joel Goldsmith, one of my favorite writers of all time, became a Christian Science practitioner, and then he left Christian Science because he found it too restrictive. He saw beyond that a vision of spirit greater than that. And he was actually invited by Ernest Holmes, our founder, to come speak at a Center for Spiritual Living, then called Church of Religious Science. And he got up in the pulpit up here, and the first thing he says is, "Thoughts have no power." And everybody just quit breathing. Because they were there to find out how to change their thinking and change your life. But he went on to say, thoughts can bring a stillness. But when there is a serious problem in our lives, not a thought anywhere will really help. Interesting. Only the realization of God can bring harmony into such a situation. Not the form of prayer, not the truth a person knows. It is the spirit that is the activity and consciousness that shifts what we know and what we experience. So he knew the power of prayer. He spent sometimes 15, 16 hours a day praying with people 10, 20 minutes at a time and shifting people's lives through the prayer, not because he was doing the work, but spirit was doing the work in the consciousness, not because his words were the right words. Sometimes he would be absolutely silent. And so would Ernest Holmes. Some of his prayers were silent. So it wasn't the words he said. It wasn't the form of prayer. It's the activity of consciousness. And it's a spiritual toolbox that activates spirit in our lives, that we're aware of the soul. And Ernest Holmes wouldn't disagree. I don't think Ernest Holmes came back later and go, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe I had him speak at my center." Because this is what he said. It is not enough to say we attract what we think. We become what we think, and what we become is what we shall attract. What we become is what we shall attract. And what we become is in the consciousness. It's us doing the work, pulling out that toolbox and doing the affirmations, not just as a mental exercise, but feeling it with our heart and our soul and knowing it. I've heard of people lately, a lot of discussion about walking our affirmations, walking our prayers. It's moving our body, being out and feeling that, connecting with it. It becomes more than words then. The I of thirsty stands for inspiring tools. So we find tools that are inspiring. Certain things like Joel Goldsmith for me is inspirational. I always turn to him as a root of my beliefs. Candles, wonderful smells. Contemplation is a fun thing to do. It's a little different than meditation. Contemplation is where you take a phrase or a quote. Just randomly, you can open a book and read that and then just sit in silence as the truth is revealing in you about that quote, about that reading, or something that you read, a Bible verse, a sacred text of some sort, and just allow it to reveal to you what it is. One this week, I was reading an interpretation of the Bible called The Message, and it takes idiomatic phrases and interprets it from that point of view. And so much truth has been revealed to me. Listen to this part. This is from the Sermon on the Mount and from Matthew, the words of Jesus according to this text called The Message. It says, "You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world." That's Bible. How about that? You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. See God in all people and all faiths, right? Wow. So that led me just to feel that truth inside of me, to get my inside world aligned, my mind, my heart, my soul put right. And then I can see God in everybody and everything. Fourth, R for rejuvenating tools to restore and nourish the self-care that we seek. And it's not always a sensory thing. That's nice, the hot bath, the massage, something like that. But it's also doing things, activities that give us the space. So when we meditate, make sure to turn our phone off, to make sure and let people know that live with us that we are in meditation, and please allow us the space to do that, to ask for what we need in that way, for renewal and rejuvenation. S is for sustaining, those tools that are ongoing, not just the short-term fix it, get me back into a good mood kind of things, but that sustain me for long periods of time, that allow me that consciousness to be. Stephen Covey, one of my other favorite authors, wrote a book, the book that's famous now is 7 Habits of Effective People. And I don't even remember what the other 6 are, to tell you the truth. But the 7th one has changed my life. It's called Sharpen Your Saw. And it means to keep your tools sharp so that you're able to use them to take care of yourself, to use these spiritual tools and keep sharp so out in the world, you're able to shift things easily, to be accepting and loving of yourself and other people. The T in thirsty, the second T stands for the teacher within. A lot of people talk about different things about a guide or a divine being, a divine presence. But it's Parker Palmer that talks about the inner teacher. And I like teachers simply because I think of teachers that were nurturing and allowing me to grow, allowing me to learn and encouraging me. And that's the kind of God I want. I don't need that inner critic. He's there too. Nothing ever makes him happy. Nothing. And I know that by now. I quit trying. I listen. Sometimes there is wisdom come from my inner critic, but the emotions behind it are just not supporting me. And my inner teacher is always lifting me up and encouraging me to move forward, not just to sit there, to be active, to learn and to pay attention in the world and find that which aligns in the truth. And finally, the why of thirsty is find the why in your life, the motivation, the intention, the vision. An important part of this is a spiritual discernment that you don't have to say yes to everything. Saying no sometimes is a yes in your life. To reflect on this about your why, make sure it is in your swing zone of what is yours to do. And your inner teacher is glad to help you with this too, to guide you towards what is yours. I want to invite you to listen to a video, and I don't think Sean is ready for this or anybody else. So I'm going to called Faith that's on StreamYard.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I ready my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns, lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me.
And God is this truth that is in us and through us. That spirit, this inner teacher, this inner guide guides us towards what is the highest and best for us, what is the why, the motivation, and guides us to develop this spiritual toolbox that supports our continuing evolution, our enlightenment. And we know this is easy and graceful. It's gentle and loving and joyful. For we know this is the way of spirit, and anything else we let go of. We know the truth of who we are in and all ways. And for this we are so grateful. And so it is. So I invite Andy back up now.
Love is the strongest force that I know. You only need to recognize and know. Love will heal. Love can reveal all you need to know. And can you let it go? You see, I never thought, I never knew that this love could be so wonderful. And I let it lead me and guide me on my way. And I'm here to testify and say it's only love that can set me free. Yeah. It's only love that will let me see I am whole and complete. Yeah. It's only love that lifts me. Oh, I'm so glad, so glad. I know. I am the one with this power that makes it so. You have to live this love from the inside out. See, there's no doubt what this love's all about. I wake up every morning with a smile on my face, knowing this love will show me the way. I have to trust my inner knowing, step into my truth. Then only then will I know this truth that is love. It's only love that can set me free. It's only love that will let me see I am whole and complete, yeah. It's only love that lifts me. Oh, only love. Oh, only love. Yeah, yeah. Only love. Oh, only love. Only love. Oh, only love. Only love. Only love. It's only love that can set me free. It's only love that will let me see I am whole and complete, yeah. It's only love that lifts me. Oh, only love. Only love. Oh, only love. That's all there is. Only love. Oh, only love. Only love, only love, only love, only love. So it is.
Wow. I told Andy, and I'll say it again, anytime you're in town, come on in. We will fill in. Oh. If I didn't mention it before, music is a part of your, could be and should be part of your spiritual toolbox too. It just opens up our heart and opens up our soul. And you are that person today. So thank you, Andy. Thank you. This is a time in our service when we invite you to participate in the circulation of abundance, that we appreciate all the donations you give of your time, talents, and treasure. And it's an opportunity to give either online with one of our links to, we have a texting way now, and that's available on the website. Or if you choose to give in person, it's a way of stepping forward into your prosperity, into your abundance and giving. We appreciate that. We always want to continue growing with our vision and mission, and we appreciate your support of that in, as I mentioned, time, talent, and treasure. So we're going to have Andy play another song, gratitude song, and during that time, you're welcome to reflect on your giving, but also on your why, your why of thirsty and how to stay curious in your spiritual toolbox. So it's a time to be contemplative in that way too. But if you so wish today, the basket is in the front and the back to participate in your abundance. So thank you for being a part of this.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all all that I have. Oh, I am so blessed. Oh, I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am, one more time, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. Oh, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy. So we just accept all the giving online and in person and anything that you mailed in during the week. And we affirm that that which is divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. We also like to bless our children who are right now, we've delayed the start of our children's program simply because they would be wearing masks, and that's not what we're looking, the kind of program we're looking for, and they're having enough challenges with school as it is. But we will be opening up again soon, and part of it is we're developing our plan for the courtyard as room for children too. So, but we bless them right where they are. So we raise our hands and we say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. And we also want to bless those people who are with us for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, and you can raise your hand online too, we may not see it, but you could raise it. If you're here for the first time, you could raise your hand. We have a gift for you. And so no new newbies, okay, for Sunday. Then we will just raise our hands and bless everybody here today. We say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And we forgot we could do this for Liz because it's your first time here. So grateful you're here today and representing Mentis. So, and then finally, we do our community affirmation by saying, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by spirit.
I am led by spirit.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is. So it is. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light in this world. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light in this world. And you shine, oh, you shine, you shine, you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, oh, you shine, you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. And we shine, we shine, we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, oh, we shine, shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, 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 we shine.
So as we go out into the world, we shine. And so it is.
So it is.
Have a great week. Tickets are available for Sip and Savor.